Welcome to Texas, where we have had approximately 120,000 race fans flocking through the gates to attend this year's United States Grand Prix. They're excited, we're excited. I hope you're excited too. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 turns to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise track. It's 3.6 miles long, and we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yes, welcome back to Southern Cross Racing. I'm your host, Simi Skate. Well, with me as always these days, my partner in crime, Lukey Boy. Welcome, mate.
Good evening, mate. Good evening, everyone. We're back. Yes, I think I'm going to make this commentating a full-time gig nowadays with you, Skatey Boy. So yeah, back again after a cracking race last week in Singapore. We've hopped to the old Pacific and we're here at COTA. Looking forward to seeing what the guys and gals can get up to today.
Well, no gals here today, mate. No gals in the server. But anyway, yeah, we'll push on, of course. Yes, absolutely. One topic to catch off the bat, of course. Yes, I speak of none other than Mr. Fury Strat. 100 Grand Prix in this format, and you might have caught the early door snippet there, but I'll bring it up for everybody at home if you can see that one. I'll just put it there. I might as well make it big for everybody while we're waiting for everybody. There we go. We'll just put it there so we can see what's happening. And well, there you go. Congratulations, Mr. Fury Strat, 100 Grand Prix, and of course you can see some logos there that aren't too familiar, but if you're a fan of ours, familiar in the past, of course. Yes, his first team in this format was Hello Kitty. His second team was Cat F1. His third team was Samsung Racing, then Taco Bell Racing, Cadillac Andretti, and of course last season Jack Daniels Racing. This season he has donned the colours of the green. That would be Jaguar Motorsport, and that is him, of course. Yes, over this format, 12 wins on 100 Grand Prix, 41 podiums, 1 sprint win, 6 fastest laps, believe it or not. 0 pole positions, which I find that hard to believe, but it is the truth. 1,597 points, if you don't mind there, Lukey boy. He's got 1 individual title, which would be a group championship, and he has 5 constructors titles, of course. And, well, the dedication of the Fury. Congratulations, mate. Much appreciated. Your loyalty and, what you do out there with all the stats and stuff in the background on your own bat, of course. Massive thank you, Fury, and hope you have a good race, my friend. And, of course, well, that is no mean feat, folks. 100 Grand Prix. And, first one to clock it up. So big congratulations to Fury. And I do believe there, Lukey boy, I think Brad Tay will be next one off the rank to clock up the good old Hungy. And, of course, at the moment, currently sitting on 97 Grand Prix. So, there is Verk in the chat saying, all right, lads. So, what is going on out there? They seem to be waiting a long time for these boys to... what's happening? There's no action out in the pit. The clock has started, and there is 0 action out on the circuit. So, not too sure what is happening out there, but the boys seem to know what they're doing. And we'll just bring up some details for everybody at home to see what is happening. We are all... How's he in chat saying he's all having a steak? Did you say steak? There you go. Oh, who's the first one to blink? That's a Jaguar. It has to be. It has to be Fury. Come on. No, it is not. Of course, it is Salmons, his teammate. And, there you go. Fury's round. It certainly is Fury's round. And, there you go. Some action finally out on circuit here, Lukey boy, of course. Yes, we're at the circuit of the Americas. Of course, this magnificent circuit in total, Lukey boy, 20 corners. Wow, the circuit, this circuit, the Grand Prix first proposed in the middle of 2010. It was the first United States full-purpose built Formula One circuit, of course. The layout was conceived by promoter Tavo Hellman, of course, and 1993 motorcycle world champ Kevin Schwantz, of course, and yes, had a huge input in the design of this circuit, did Swansea. And of course, what a MotoGP rider he was. Of course, we push on Austin Circuit of the Austin Circuit of the Americas, known as COTA for short, endured times of a difficult birth to emerge as one of the most impressive new circuits and grace the calendar in recent years. The first circuit in the USA to be purpose-built for Formula One has gone to snare on all other major championships in recent years. Yes, MotoGP has made it its home, of course, the IMSA and Moto America, while recent addition to NASCAR and, of course, IndyCar, the FIA World Endurance Championship, and even the V8 supercars from the land down under have been there. And, there you go. A little bit of track stats. The circuit length is 5.513 kilometres here, Lukey boy. Pole position is on the right-hand side of the circuit. The distance from the grid to turn 1 is 230.8 metres. Full throttle around here, folks, at about 60% of the lap. The longest flat-out section, of course, is that back straight. And, that is 1,090 metres. The downforce level around here, Lukey boy, is medium. Yes, 66 to 72 gear changes per lap. Excuse me, that came out a little bit buckled, but we will push on. Time lost per extra lap of fuel you will carry is roughly around about 0.08 of a second. So there you go, Lukey boy. Some track stats to get us underway.
Indeed, yes. Classic. COTA is a modern classic, I would argue. I remember, again, showing my age a bit here, I'm sure there are others that also remember when this circuit was announced, and I remember the old video of David Coulthard driving around the track when it wasn't even the track, it was just the dirt. And he'd filled it all up. I still remember him driving around in the RB. It's a modern classic, really good track. Really flowing, really fast, great overtaking opportunities, definitely a classic on the F1 calendar, and it's difficult to think it hasn't even been on the calendar for 15 years, and yet it is so beloved by all fans. Yeah. The best American track on the grid, which isn't much. To be honest.
It's not.
It's a not very high bar.
I'm glad you added that. I'm glad you added that. Sorry to all our American fans out there, but the rest of them are rubbish. This is the real American circuit, and we'll push on. Salmon's about to set his first time run, and how's he saying? Lukey boy needs to come up a bit. All right, no problem. We'll just turn him up a little bit, Lukey boy. Have another crack there, my friend.
I will indeed have another crack, because Salmons does a 34-1 in his jag. Sorry, I have to do it every time. A solid starting lap there from Salmons, but I'm sure it will not stay for long. It doesn't stay for long. Johnny M4 does a 34 flat, just to snatch it away from the Salmons. I'm watching Midas Mella coming into the final sector through the turn 8 copycat from Istanbul Park. That is one thing I will say about this track. It doesn't really have that much originality. Sector 1, Maggots and Beckett's, turn 8, copying Barvane in the second sector. But apart from that, it is a beautiful track.
It is.
Midas Mella as the final corner. What can he do? It's looking good. The 1:31.6, crikey. That is a lap and a half from the Mella. I nearly want to keep the Smeller. Smeller. So yeah, fantastic lap, visual pole 31.6, and that is a benchmark and a half for the Willy Wonka team.
Absolutely, and well, here comes the Group 4 driver of the same team, Wonka Racing, and there you go, Bender with 134.068. Good enough for P3, but of course these are all just the first time runs here, Lukey boy. Nothing to get too excited just yet. We've got a, who was that? A Monster Energy, I do believe, starting his lap, and that'll be the Verk, of course, the reigning champ from last season. And, well, who just jumped up there? That looked like that was a Nat Hammer. It certainly was a Nat Hammer with a 32.6. And I'll tell you what, Lukey boy, this lad here has just come on a little bit better this season, hasn't he? Just done his thing, of course, albeit early doors, but liking how Nat is approaching it, mate. Very, very good.
Yeah, he's coming up, especially as we get into the game cycle, we get used to this. I found it recently as well that I thought I was really bad at this game, but I think once you get used to the game, used to handling, get the setups, dial yourself in, you can really find a lot of time, and Nat Hammer has been definitely one of those people finding lots of time on this game. So well done to him just for finding the time. It isn't easy, and P2 32.6, you may look at that and go, wow, he's a long way off Midas Mella, but that is a strong lap from Nat Hammer, and hopefully something he can build off for the rest of the session. I mean, we're still quite early in the Q1 times, yeah, we will see what he can do. I'm sure he'll be able to string that up a bit more. But yeah, it's 11 minutes on the clock, and we all know that after 10 minutes, this track really ramps up, or all tracks ramp up. So he could probably find at least another 2 or 3 tenths here. At least could be looking at low 32, as that is the Batman. Oh, Parsifal into P3 on a 33.3. Just pips Batman, who just gone a little bit ahead, and he's pipped by your guy JC. So P3 is apparently the main battle that everyone is focused on.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 drivers have gone P3 in the last 30 seconds.
Well, here we go. Verk is about to make a timed run here, Lukey boy. Let's just bring him across the line. It's a 32.5, a bit loose out of turn 20. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing to get too excited about just yet. While Housey is in the chat, he's still in the garage. And we might as well just mention, last season he did say he was going to have a crack at qualifying. But last week he didn't. I did know he did go out on circuit. He did say he was going to have a crack and try his timed runs. But this season at the moment, still in that bloody garage, probably having a smoke and deciding which set of hard compounds to use for the race. But nevertheless, we will push on. Brad Tay out there, as I did touch on at the start of the stream there, Lukey boy, this is his 97th Grand Prix is the Brad Tay, and great to see he's got all the stickers on, and Blue Dog in chat will be loving that. Fantastic, Brad Tay, good to see you pulled through with the goods. And I'll tell you what, that Renault F1 livery does look good with all the stickers on it. Fantastic, Brad. But of course, yes, in Sector 2, a long way to go for his lap. David is out there on circuit as well there, Lukey boy, in Sector 1, but we are going to stay with Brad Tay. Yet to set a time, of course, 10 minutes remaining in this session. And as we speak, and the devil, his ears must have been burning. He's a traitor. I'll have a word to him. And the absolutely brilliant. Well, I mean, yeah, well, we won't go there just yet, Bluey, but fantastic to see you in the chat, mate. Here comes Brad Tay. This quadruple right-hander. I absolutely love that. It's a fantastic corner. And you set yourself up. Oh, he's just kept it inside those white lines there, Lukey boy. And he's about to set his time right about now. A 34.252. Good enough for P12, mate.
Yep, strong like that from Brad Tay. Even if Blue Dog doesn't
agree,
Lucky.
Sorry, mate.
Here too.
He certainly is.
David into the third sector, round the Bahrain turn 10 knockoff. Found the long left-hander and then the long right-hander, both when your tyres are shot, especially going through the turn 8 copycat Mickey Mouse. He's got a car just ahead of him. It's another Jags, or is it a Monster? I can't tell. One or the other. He's got another cut of the road, but they dive into the pit, so it's a clear road for David. He's got a little bit of battery to burn on the short run from the last corner to the start-finish line. It's going to be a strong lap here from David. It is a 34.5. P13 for the man. We have 3 people yet to do a lap. Tactical Genius, Housey, who, as you said, is probably picking which wet tyres to start the race on, even if it's blown dry. Although I think I feel like he came out last week with like a minute left on the clock and then didn't start his lap for whatever reason. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like Halsey is going to come out today. I'm putting it out there now. I feel it. I feel like there's going to be a Halsey qualifying day.
Well, I hope you're right there, my friend. I hope you're right. But I mean, he did make an extreme point about the qualifying scenario last season at the very last stream of the season. So we are just keeping him true, tested and true, of course. Yes, 8 minutes remaining, yet to see the great man out on circuit. But of course, we are currently watching the Season 2 champ, Mr. Tactical Genius. Yes, that is golf racing, of course, designed by Dirty Orange. And, well, fantastic job he did too. And we do welcome Lockie to the stream. Of course, Lockie was a full-time driver. Unfortunately, his work commitments have changed and had to relinquish his seat. Unfortunate from the Lockie. He was doing so well, wasn't he? But nevertheless, he is in chat and supporting the boys, of course. And his team was the Renault team. And, of course, currently Johnny M4 in P7. Brad Tay, P12, and Scotty yet to set a time just yet. Tactical Genius lighting up that second sector there, Lukey boy. Looking very, very good.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong. Is the Genius in the golf car, beautiful car. Of course, I mean, all the cars are beautiful. They all absolutely smash out of the park here with their livery designs. But Tactical Genius comes into turn 20. 1 corner to go. He's got no battery left. He's used up all of his deployment as he comes up to the line. It's a 133.4 P6 from Tactical Genius. Strong lap there from the golf livery driver. But unfortunately, still a long way off. Midas Mella is still the only driver in the 31s. And the next quickest driver is halfway through the 32s. So Midas Mella, as always, with some strong pace. Scotty is coming down. Oh, Midas Mella goes even quicker. Just he's clean heard me and gone, yeah, look at this, mate. I'm going even quicker.
Yeah, that's right.
4 for Midas.
Absolutely brilliant lap from the Greek god, and well, he's just doing his thing as he's done all season long. Of course, currently watching Scotty on the back straight at the moment, looking very tidy, of course, yet to set a time. Still plenty of time remaining in this session. As Lukey Boy did touch on early doors, this one's going to ramp up as this session goes on, and of course, it does happen everywhere as the track starts to rubber in. The times start to tumble, and of course, you're going to see a lot of outlaps happen on that timing tree very, very shortly, of course. But currently watching Scotty in the third sector, mate. Your Bahrain copycat corners there, Lukey Boy. But nevertheless, he's in that quadruple right-hander. Fantastic from him. Left-hander line. He's looking very, very good from the Scotty. Have a look at this man. Looks absolutely planted. Of course, does the Group 2 champ from last season. What's he got? A 133.1 P6 for now.
Yeah, good job there from Scotty, looking very planted. And as I learned earlier in the week, he's very good in the wet. His old Scotty boy. Thankfully,
Yes.
he's driver now here in COTA. So he's done a good job. Who is next across the line? It is going to be... Oh, I cannot find them. Johnny M... No, it's not Johnny M4. Someone's about to cross the line. I'm not sure it is.
Lukey boy, yes, I think it might be Verk about to start his lap. There is a golf behind him, and let's just pick up who that is. That'll be Tactical Genius, about to enter the pit lane, and of course his teammate of Dirty Orange already in the pit lane. Jazz Blue Cat getting a lap underway. So Jazz Blue Cat currently sitting 16th, and I tell you what, this guy's coming on leaps and bounds. Very good to see from the Jazz. Just keep on keeping on, Jazz, and doing a fantastic job, if I must say so myself. Johnny M4 currently out there, just currently bettering his previous best. Let's just see what he's got across the line. Bang! A 133.642 for 0.4 of a second better than his previous best. Throws himself up into P9, Luke.
Yeah, I'm watching the Batman. The Batman will be the next driver across the line on a flying lap. He's now one position. Oh no, Batman has boxed. Batman has called it off. He was up in the second sector, but he was not up by a comfortable margin. It was less than half a tenth. So Batman into the pits. He's called it quits on that lap. He'll have time to go again though, if he so wishes. Who else is on track? We've got Jazz Blue Cat is coming down the back straight. Anyone on a lap closer to the end? Johnny has finished his. Scotty is not on a push. Your guy JC is on a push, but he's at the start of the lap. And Verk is up by nearly 2/10 in the second sector. Is old Verky boy. He is absolutely flying out there. Can he find improvement? He'll need, if he can find a good 2-3 tenths lap, does put his claim on P2 very much more secure than it currently is. He's only half a tenth clear of Nat Hammer as it is. If he can find a couple of tenths, he can claim a better stake to that P2. Looking unlikely to challenge Midas at any time soon. But no, Verk as well is into the pit, so he wants to go later in the session. Maybe make a mistake that cost him the time.
Well, why would you? You'd save it to the end, especially on this circuit here, Luke. As we did touch on, the later you leave it, the better it is, of course. And, well, JC not leaving anything to chance. He's out there setting sectors alight and, well, currently up on his previous best by just under a tenth of a second. So let's just see how he goes. He's currently in the second sector. We're going to get a good reference point here. And, well, there you go. Nearly 2/10 of a second. Lining up that second sector. Purple, 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 says the JC. And, of course, yes, well, here he comes, of course. And, well, our resident Canadian Lukey boy is the JC. And currently sitting P4 with a 32.966. Very, very good from the man. And, well, this looks like it's an absolute rapid lap and doing very, very well. He's got to negotiate that last corner there, Lukey boy. Turn 20, just ease on the power, no tailspin. And there you go, a 32.6. 3/10 better than his previous best. Stays P4, but a great improvement.
Yeah, strong improvement. That is probably solidified his claim on P4. Second row of the grid for him at the moment. Half a second clear of Salmons behind him. Just missing out on jumping that hammer by less than half a tenth. If he'd found an extra tenth, he would have been on the door of Verk. So yeah, lots of time here. I'm looking at the pit lane. There is a cluster. Here we go. The last 2.5 minutes of the session, and that is a dinner bell for every driver wishing to go again. Time to get out on track. Time to get in those final runs. The track will be at its best. Sun at its lowest. Track temperature probably dropping a couple of degrees, bringing those Pirellis into an even better window. And here they all coming out of the pit lane. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. I can imagine if you're going to do a lap, you're going to be leaving the pit lane in the next 10 seconds. If not, you're not going to be doing another lap as the outlap boards flash up and light up. I think we've got a little bit to wait. Don't think anyone is on a particularly quick lap.
Yeah, we're just waiting at the moment. As you can see, everybody on outlaps. JC just completed his one. Brad Tate just started another one, but I tell you what, he's got a lot of traffic ahead of him with guys on outlaps. We do hope they get out of his way. We'll just flick down to Brad Tate, and there he is there. Just purpled the first. I tell you what, Brad Tate's on it. He's on it. He's got some traffic ahead of him. Let's just hope they get out of his way. But this might work out brilliantly. He's going to get a great tow down the back straight here, Lukey boy. We're going to stay with Brad Tate because I think he's on an absolute stonker. Look at the cars get out of his way. They don't want to help him. Who is that ahead of him? Is it his teammate? No, it is not his teammate. So there you go. Look at Brad Tate. He's on the hunt. He's on the hunt for some slipstream. The guys ahead of him just get well and truly out of his way and says, no, we don't. We're not going to help him, Renault. And here we go. Brad Tate, what's he got? Let's he go. Oh, he's just... Oh, I tell you what, a 10.5 down on his previous best, and well, I'll tell you what, he can make it all up in this last sector. I don't think the distraction of the traffic would have helped him in any way, shape or form, but nevertheless, Brad Tate, a seasoned veteran, doing his thing. JC's out, but that is in the pit lane. Nevertheless, I got excited, Luke. I got excited. But here we go. Oh, Brad Tate's just gone red. And unfortunate P14 from him. How's he still out on circuit in the pit lane? But we'll flick to Fury because I do believe he was the first one out there on a time run. And there he is there. And only in Sector 1, getting his lap underway.
Yeah, indeed. He is well underway through the flowing S's, Baggots and Beckett's. He's up by 10.5 in the first sector. Nicely done from Fury Strat. Probably the easiest place to invalidate is the first sector and this section here over the crest of the hill, and then the track drops away from usually plunge down towards turn 11. Onto the back straight, you've got to get this corner crucial. Got to get on the power nice and early. Can't have too much tail spin. He does not. That is a very nicely looking planted Jaguar at the moment. He's got now a long straight. He can open the DRS now. The drag falls away from his tires cooling, brakes cooling into the most important braking zone on the track. Turn 12. How did he do it? Can he cut a bit of the inside? He keeps well away from that inside curve. Keeping well clear, does not want to invalidate his lap. He's up by 0.7 of a second. Fury Strat is on a bit of a belter, if you don't mind me saying. He is flying through this circuit of the Americas into the third sector, through turns 15 and 16. Then it is the right-handers. They're only counted as 2 corners, 17 and 18, but they will be flat. There's no stress in this modern F1 car. Got plenty of battery to burn with, as well does Fury Strat. Into the penultimate corner. Does he keep it clean? He does well inside the white lines. No risks taken, because this is going to be a lap and a half. If he pulled it all together, the final sector, how is it doing for Fury Strat? It's a 32.9. It goes up to P5. What a lap there from the Fury Strat. As Midas Mello goes even quicker, just to prove a point.
Absolutely brilliant from the Fury on his 100th Grand Prix. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Of course, P5. Good starting position from him. Currently watching Z, and let's just see what Z's got. We'll bring him across the line. There is a couple of cars behind him, and I do believe one of them is Dirty Orange. We're going to miss his lap, but there you go. Z, bang, does not improve. We'll start P8. Where is Scotty? In Sector 2. The Salmons has got a track map of red, and the Nat Hammer, there he is there in the third sector. So I tell you what, folks, we're going to go straight from Nat, straight to Scotty, and let's just see if Nat is on one. Oh, I tell you what, he's loosey-goosey out of 19. He wants to put the nose goes in, and I'll tell you what, bring the power on. He's loosey-goosey again. And he does improve. P2, where is Scotty? Where is Scotty? Oh, we missed it. We missed it, but great qualifying. And there you go. The Batman in the end ended up 13th there, Lukey boy.
He did indeed. Batman down in 13th, but that was a great lap there from that hammer at the end. And Scotty ended up P7.
Oh, look at the lap from Middies. Sorry to cut you off, Jesus. Lukey boy. 1.2 seconds. He's a bit of a qualifying legend, is the Middies. And, well, doing his thing. Another pole position for his name. And, of course, yes, we'll flick down to the bottom for the stewards to do their thing, of course. Yes, points for qualifying and all that sort of stuff. And we will do this for Middies. Congratulations, mate. That is another pole position.
Yes, it's pole position. Yes.
Invalidated his lap. He was up by 0.3, so Verk would have been P2 if he kept it in the white lines. So well done to Nat Hammer for sticking it in the end. Strong qualifying so far, but they've got 28 laps to prove that they are worth the metal they have put down. Of course, weather is always a factor. It's probably going to be dry, but we don't know for certain. It is cloudy. Oh boy, get your clouds out, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks a bit overcast there, Lukey boy. And while we're here, while we've got some time, we are going to put some follows up. Eric Cole followed. Thank you very much for your follow, Eric. Much appreciated, mate. And, well, there you go. We've got some time here, Lukey boy. Just cool your jets. The boys are going to take their time, organise their setups. A little bit of a tyre adjustment, a little bit of a front wing adjustment. So nothing to get too excited about just yet. Save that bad boy voice for when it gets all fired up there, my friend. But, yes, nevertheless, well, I'll tell you what, this circuit does bring up some quality racing, mate. Absolutely does. And, well, predictions for the Grand Prix. Well, if qualifying's anything to go for, I'll tell you what, Middies has got this one in the bag. But race pace is a lot different to quali pace. And, well, with Verk breathing down his neck as well. Let's just see how this one pans out, folks.
Yep, it is going to be a good one. Powers are out. So let's say the American crowd is looking very excited. They're all up and down, jumping and clapping. Not sure what they're clapping at yet. It's still very much not yet done, but drivers getting everything ready and about to go underway.
Absolutely, and well, we got some bits here, so we'll bring that up.
Yeah, lovely skate.
Tell me you don't love that audio from K-Mag. Of course, yes, absolutely brilliant. When he scored that P5, I absolutely love it. Absolutely. And I reckon it's one of the best audios out there, to be fair. Nevertheless, we will push on, put the tyres up, put the lap detail up, full track map is on. Middies Mella out there on pole position on the medium, of course. Nat Hammer thinking outside the box, and I like that from Nat. I like that from Nat on the hard compound. If he can make that work there, Lukey boy, he has gone a long way to secure a podium. Of course, Verk out there, yes, he certainly is on the medium. P3 is our current driver's champion. And, well, JC, our resident Canadian, great quali from the JC. And up there in P4, of course, Mr. Fury Strat on his 100th Grand Prix in P5 on the hard compound. And, of course, yes, you look at his name, he loves the Strat. And, well, let's just see how this one pans out for the great man. Salmon's in P6 on the medium, of course. And there he is there, doing a fantastic job. All season is the Salmons. And let's just see if you can transfer that quali pace into race pace. Scotty in P7. Not a bad qualifying from the Scotty, of course, yes, just ahead of Z, who I tell you what, these two have been battling all season long here, Lukey boy. Of course, yes, albeit 5 rounds in. C on the hard compound, thinking outside the box, and I like it from the Z. I like it. Tactical genius. There he is there, Season 2 champ on the medium, starting in P9. The Bender has come alive of late, and it's fantastic to see on the medium is the Group 4 Wonka Racing driver, Dirty Orange. There he is, of course, yes. Last season known as the Filth. He's back as the Dirty Orange. And yes, P11 from that man on the medium. Johnny M4 as well on the medium. And of course, the Batman a little bit out of position at the moment, if I must say so, in P13 for that man. David in P14, our Group 3 champ from last season. Brad Tay, there he is there on the hard compound. How's he? No stranger to the hard compound is that man. And of course, Jazz Blue Cat. Well, thinking well and truly outside the box, starting this one on the soft.
Yeah, Jazz Cat is going to be the different one. We have all 3 tyres on display here. Mostly mediums, a couple of hards, and one soft. It's going to be a fascinating race, 28 laps. I hope everyone sticks by us. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Absolutely, Lukey boy, as we sit here patiently waiting for these famous 5 red lights to get us underway here, folks. And here we go. It looks like we're allowed to start this one off. Here we go, folks. We've got 2 lights, 3 lights, we've got 4 lights, we have 5 red lights. They're holding, the lights are out, and away we go. Great launch there by Middies, and I'll tell you what, he's got turn 1 covered. I'll tell you what, Nat has to be careful. There is Verk hunting, and he's hunting around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, he just has to slot in. What has happened there? Zia's got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, so I'm not too sure what has gone on there, Lukey boy. But let's just have a look at the position changes, of course. Scotty up 1, Tactical up 2, Salmon's down 2, Dirty Orange up 2. So I'll tell you what, a bit of a kerfuffle, and well, the biggest loser out of that starting sequence there was Z, unfortunately.
Yeah, Z, I think he, from what I can see, he cut across turn 1, cut the track to make sure he didn't get any wing damage, avoided hitting anyone, and the game did not like that. It slapped him with a 10-second penalty immediately. He didn't even, and in fact, he stayed off the throttle. He didn't get any illegal overtakes. It's just purely that he cut turn 1. The game doesn't like it. Something else that isn't being liked is Verk. He's all over the back of Nat Hammer. Does not like being behind the hard shod runner, up the inside into turn 12. He's well clear of Nat before they even get to the braking zone. Well done. No DRS. There's a bit. Ooh. Footy and Dirty Orange fighting hard at the bottom end of the top 10. Dirty Orange, but he's stood side by side into the third sector. The inside line, but Bender has the racing line to the outside. That becomes the inside now into turns 14, 15 and 16. Oh, he's still there, still side by side. Lovely respectful racing from these two. And they're still side by side. It is a traction race into the quadruple right-hander, and Dirty Orange takes the position. P10, excellent job there, clean racing.
Absolutely brilliant there by Dirty Orange. Fantastic from him. As we move further afield, of course, yes, we'll have a look at Salmons and Fury, of course. These are 2 teammates, and of course, Fury on the hard compound, and I'll tell you what, he's just got to make it now. Johnny M4 getting a little tail happen. He's going to be a sitting duck. Here comes Tack. Tactical Genius on the front straight, and yes, is he going to get it done before turn 1? He certainly is, but he's going to go the long way around the outside, which will become the inside for the next sequence. But Johnny M4 has the grip coming out of 1 and will hold P8. We'll flick further up because there you go, a change for position, and that is the medium versus the hard. Of course, Salmon's ripping the wards early doors with that grippier tyre, and of course Fury down there in P7. His race will come to him as this one comes on, of course, and here comes Johnny M4 on the medium. Fury just has to hold suit. He's going to feel the pain a little bit at the start of the Grand Prix. Of course, all these hard runners will, and here comes JC on Nat Hammer. Beautiful move from the JC up in a P3. Fantastic stuff.
Indeed, and Orange still in that fight with, well, so it's fights ahead now. Tactical Genius, they'll have DRS and Tactical Genius looking like he wants the position back, and he gets very much through on the Orange into turn 12. Nat Hammer loses up to Scotty, but that is to be expected on those hard tyres. He's got probably 3 or 4 more laps before they become equal to the mediums, so he's got to deal with the pain for now, and hope that it will come to him later in the race. I'm sure it will, as those hard tyres become better than the mediums. And once he switches to the softer compound later on in the race, outside medium trailer, 1.7 seconds clear of Burke, who himself is 3 seconds clear of JC. And again, it seems to be the top 2 running away, and the battle for third is what is slowing everybody down. Nice little DRS train from JC down to Salmons. Fury strike just outside of that DRS zone, the next hard runner on the track. So again, he'll be struggling a bit for pace. I think Johnny M4 will be capitalising on that sooner rather than later, but Johnny M4 seems like
absolutely, Lukey boy, and of course Bender having a good look at Dirty Orange here, mate, into turn 1, and I think he's going to get it done. He's just waited, he waited, and he got it done. Well, Orange is not giving his up, they've given each other room. Fantastic racing from these two. The last 3 or 4 laps, and we've got a great aerial shot. Bender, is he going to get it done? Orange ain't giving it up, and Orange takes it. Brilliant driving from these two, albeit for 10th and 11th. I'll tell you what, look at the gaggle of cars building up behind him. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Jazz is out. And what have we got here, Lukey boy? What have we got? I think it might be a VSC. It could be a VSC.
It's a full.
Oh, it's a safety car. The yellow dot is out on circuit. And we've got a full safety car, lap 3 of 28. There you go, folks.
There you go, good old safety car, and that of course brings the field back together. Bedus's and Burke's gap is now wiped clean. I doubt we'll be seeing any pit stops. This does help the medium runners slightly. It means they can keep their tyres in a good window for longer. It means they can extend this stint. The hard runners would have probably preferred a later safety car when they could have capitalised more But yeah, the field is neutralised. Jazz Blue Cat out of the race in Sector 1, and we are down to 16 runners. As I said, I don't think we're going to see any pit stops because there's no tyre available that would see these drivers through to the end of the race. If anyone pits now, they'll be committing to the 2-stop. Maybe Brad Tay or Halsey comes in to come off those hard tyres and runs 2 sets of mediums to the end. But as I said, it would be a definitive 2-stop strategy from this point out. Everyone will be recharging battery, trying to save fuel as well if they have underfueled. I know that some people did last week, as Verk's coming in. Hello.
He certainly is there, Lukey boy. And take a breath there, young fella. We are under safety car conditions, and no need to get excited. We are going to be neutral for a good 2 or 3 laps here, folks. Oh, Fury gets... What's going on? Fury's got a 10-second penalty, sir. Whoa, what is happening? What is happening, folks? And, well, there you go. There you go. Just as the boys try to settle themselves out with these pit stops, albeit on lap 4. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting. So, nevertheless, we push on. Middy's Mallow leading this one from his teammate, JC. Group 1, Group 2 boys there. Excuse me, Nat Hammer right behind them, and I tell you what, he has made that hard compound work at the start of this Grand Prix, and look at Tack. Tack is no stranger to this circuit, the lap record holder around here, folks. Currently sitting at P4, and let's just bring up these position changes for everybody at home. Wrong one. There it is there, and there it is there, of course. Tack up 5, Dirty Orange up 6. Have a look at the Golf boys doing their thing. It's great to see them come alive, of course. David up 8. Great to see as well, of course. These boys yet to stop, but I tell you what, out of kilter for early pit stops here, there, Lukey boy. And, well, nevertheless, the drivers know best. Howsey in P7, up 9, of course. And Verk was the first one to change his tyre strategy. So, yeah, first one to blink, first one to stop. So we'll just bring up the tyres. And what has he chosen? He's chosen the hard compound. And, well, this one will... It might be beneficial there, Lukey boy, of course, under safety car conditions. But just get that sheen off him, and I'll tell you what, if you can put that heat into him, the last lap we were about to go before we go green, it might just work in his favour. Of course, Howsey just ahead of him, and that 3-lap tyre difference on the hard compound is not going to matter too much, especially on the first stint. And there you go, we push on. Sands has made the stop with the hard compound. Yes, that is on. Same with Scotty. Same with Fury. He's gone from the hard to the medium. And he's taken the pain of a 10-second penalty, of course. Yes, not too sure what happened between him and his teammate. But nevertheless, that is the story right there. Johnny M4 in P12. The Batman in 13th. Old Footy Bender in 14th. Brad Tay in 15th. And, of course, Z in 16th. As, well, he served that penalty. And, well, he can crack on for the rest of the race here, Lukey boy.
He can. I think, yeah, Verk pitting, and he's got a few cars ahead of him. But it does mean now that he, if, as he stands, he doesn't have to pit stop in green flag conditions. David decides that he actually wants to pit. Might have pitted a lap too late there because he's now going to have to fall right to the back of the field. But he thinks that a new set of boots is worth the pain. So it does promote Verk up another position. So Verk one to watch for. As I said, it pretty much puts them all on a guaranteed 2-stop, potentially banking on another safety car later down the line in order to fulfill that second stop.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll go straight to the end, and I know nothing, but I am fairly certain that these guys, well, we know that Fury, Strat and Brad Tay will have to pit again. Those medium tyres are definitely not doing 23 laps.
No,
so the hard tyres will definitely have to, I think they'll have to pit again, and I think they'll be banking on the later safety car to come and bail them out.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see here, Lukey boy, of course. The field has bunched up. We are just waiting for David to catch the back of it, and I dare say he will catch it by the end of the second sector. And let's just pray to God we go green. We're going to stay with Middies, of course. We're going to keep an eye on these safety car lights. Middies thinks that the safety car is about to go, so let's just have a look at this. They are still flashing those lights, so he just dropped off a little bit. But nevertheless, we're not going to commentate on that too much here, Lukey boy, of course. Yes, the Australian Grand Prix in real life is next week there, mate. And of course, yes, you've got your tickets. And, well, the real F1 season is about to fire up, whether you like it or not. RC cars on steroids, whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, we'll push on, of course, and everybody looking forward to seeing how this new spec will play out. Of course, there's one thing guaranteed, they will be louder, but that's probably about it. Nevertheless, the safety car is in this lap. We will sit with JC. Of course, yes, we won't won't give the field an inkling on when Minis decides to absolutely plan it. Nevertheless, we will stay with JC, and well, he's got 3 golfs, excuse me, if you don't mind, right behind him. I speak of none other than Nat Hammer, Tactical Genius, and Dirty Orange. And look at them all trying to put that heat into those tyres. Fantastic from these boys. JC just doing his thing, being a rear gunner for Minis at the moment. And I'm sure Minis would be absolutely loving this. But nevertheless, we're about to go green here, folks. They have to let the safety car go. They have to let it go. And that has to cross that line. And, well, the race is now Minis. He's deciding when to go. And he's absolutely gone there, Lukey boy. Turn 19 was the corner, and he's gone. He's absolutely gone. Johnny M4 with a 3-second warning for track limits. Unfortunate from the Johnny, but just let's have a look at this restart. So far, so good from all the boys here, Lukey boy. And, well, they have all held position. Scotty trying to make a move on Salmons, and he's close, but just not quite close enough, is he? As we'll move further up, because Tactical just getting by Nat Hammer. And there you go, job done. Tack already up in a podium positions, and that's exactly where he's used to be.
Indeed, so I was keeping an eye on Verk because he's all at the back of Housey. Housey already struggling a bit, probably to get temperature into those hard tyres that have done a couple of laps at pace around here, circuit of the Americas. Verk does have to get a move on if he wants his strategy to work. He will have to start picking people off bit by bit, and I think he's closing in on Housey. I won't be surprised if he goes for the move down this back straight here into turn 12. He needs to get a wiggle on if he wants any chance of winning this race. He's rolled the dice, he's gambled on the alternate strategy as Fury Strat gets past Salmons. Fury Strat definitely one to watch on fresh medium tyres and the highest runner on them. And here comes Verk. He's got the battery, got the testing up the inside of Housey into the big there as well. I think Housey was like too hard. It's not his back. He is very much giving up the position to Verk. Up to P6, he's got some work to do, does Verk, but he is absolutely going to be making the most of it, as again Fury Strat as well follows him through. Fury Strat up to P7, Housey down 2 positions already on this opening lap of racing once again here at COTA. So some moves being made already by those that pitted on the safety car.
Absolutely, Lukey boy, and that won't bother Housey too much. He knows what his fight is all about, and just slots in behind Fury. Fury doing a great job trying to make, I tell you what, trying to make the hay while the sun is shining. DRS is enabled now, folks. We're going to see some moves, absolutely. We certainly are, of course. And, well, Verk and Fury, I tell you what, nose to stern. And this is a very similar story. Fury will be enjoying this. Just needs to hang on to the back of Verk and just see how far up he can get dragged along, of course. And there is Scotty having a good look at Salmons on the inside of turn 1 and just has to relinquish position. Just a little bit, of course. That was always going to close. And great driving there from Scotty just to realise what was happening in that moment. And that holds Salmon into P9. Scotty in P10. And he's got his teammate for a wingman there in company. Brad Tayer's left the session. Excuse me, folks. I'm just going to go on a brief pause, get him back into the menu.
Yep, as they get Brad Tay back in, I'm watching Verk, who's got Fury Strat for company. Verk on the back of a Dirty Orange already with DRS enabled and a bit wide there from the Orange. This should be a fairly overtake, but look at Mr. Fury Strat. I mean, I know you guys can't, but Fury Strat is all over the back of Verk, and he's using those medium tyres to good use. We saw Nat Hammer struggling at the start with mediums versus hards, and Fury Strat is proving it as Verk loses the rear end not once but twice, and that gives Fury Strat a nice look up the inside. Tactical Genius picks up a 3-second penalty for track limit excursions, and Fury Strat is still side by side with Verk. Verk still trying to get the inside of Orange, but he's going to be done by Fury Strat, who gets past him cleanly round the outside on those fresh medium tyres. Verk goes very wide as well. He's got a nice gap to Housey though, so he won't be losing any positions to the car behind. Verk down to 7th, and Fury Strat will now be the one to take on Dirty Orange, and given the tyre offset between the two, I would not be putting it past Fury Strat to be past Dirty Orange in the next few corners, probably in the second sector, as they head on to lap 8 of 28.
Absolutely there, Lukey boy. Fantastic from you there, mate. As, well, there you go. Have a look at Dirty Orange. Absolutely brilliant. Sent it up the inside. The Fury and old duck that he is was wise to that and just drove around him on the outside of the corner. How are you, Webby? Good to see you in chat. Web Stappen. Awesome stuff, mate. Morning, evening to you. Well, it's morning for you, mate. And, well, good to see you supporting the boys. Fantastic. As we'll flick further further down to Verk, and I tell you what, he's got orange for company, and that would be a bit of a relief to Fury. He's just slotted orange in between him, and fantastic, absolutely brilliant. But Nat Hammer doing a fantastic job as well, of course. Yes, Tactical Genius with the time penalty has released Nat Hammer, and just doing his thing to be a bit of a rear gunner, isn't he, Tactical? And well, Fury has come alive. Oh, I tell you what, Fury, a bit of a wheel bang there, and not too sure what that was about. But nevertheless, Fury got the grip between the teeth. He does have that 10-second time penalty to remember towards the end of this Grand Prix here, Lukey boy, or maybe the next pit stop, just to balance this one out. So a long way to go here yet, mate, albeit on lap 8 of 28.
Yeah, long way to go as Verk is still trying to get past Dirty Orange. He's watched Fury Shrek absolutely disappear off into the sunset, and he's going, I want a piece of that pie. But Dirty Orange is a wily fox, and he is proving to be very hard for Verk to get through. Verk knows he's got a little bit of time in hand. He knows these guys are going to be pitting in the next probably 3 or 4 laps, or possibly 5 with that safety car intervention, allowing them to run a little bit longer. But Verk is all over the back of Dirty Orange, and is he going to go for the move into turn 1? DRS is open, but Dirty Orange still has DRS on the car ahead, and if anything, maybe running a little less downforce because he's pulling away from Verk down the straight as they come into turn 1. As Johnny M4 gets past Housley, Housley is going further and further back on those older hard tyres as Freddie Bender gets past the Batman. So these guys are still all scuffling for position. Those that pitted under the safety car mingling a bit with those that haven't pitted on the safety car, and Verk is probably now getting a little bit frustrated behind the rear wing of Dirty Orange. He's seen the back of that car now for a couple of laps. In fact, he's seen a car pass him, past Dirty Orange, past Tactical Genius, and he's now running away. It's round goes Tactical Genius. He has lost it at the top of the hill, and now he's got to wait and make sure everyone gets through. He should be okay. Brad Tate is the next car to come around once Brad Tate is through. Tactical Genius can get underway, and off he goes again, but that is going to be massively costly.
Well, that was costly for the Golf boys there. I think, well, Tactical Genius lost it a little bit, and then I think Dirty Orange in sympathy was about to hit his teammate, and around he went as well. And I wasn't too sure if there's oil on circuit, but those two boys there now respectively 14th and 16th. They've dropped from the top all the way down to the back, and have left Nat Hammer to fight for himself, and there he is there, Nat Hammer, and doing his thing is the Nat. P4 from that man, and well, I'll tell you what, he's got some other stickers on the car that he's not meant to have, and well, I don't think so. We'll just have a look at that one and keep an eye on that from the Nat, but nevertheless, we'll flick further down. Batman, there he is there, right behind his teammate, of course, Z, and these two boys just need to settle a little bit, of course. Z's having a great race, a bit of a topsy-turvy one, and the Batman just needs to hang on to the back of his teammate. I think these two can do some damage if they just settle down and just cool their jets and start to pull their way through the field, of course, and well, just do their thing. We'll flick further up because Nat Hammer is starting to look at Fury, and Fury's gone. Fury's absolutely gone. He's making, well, good time with this medium compound, isn't he, Lukey boy? Doing a fantastic job is the Fury, and well, we'll flick further back down because David has just latched onto the back of Batman, and I think this is where it's looking really good here, Lukey boy. The battle right from P9 all the way down to P13, and well, the gaggle of cars is full on. Have a look at the trap map, folks. They're everywhere, and they're very, very close. Tactical with a 3-second time limit, and well, there you go. That's not going to help his cause too much, but nevertheless, great racing shown by the boys.
Yeah, fantastic racing, and Fury Strat now clear of the cars behind. He's got 2.5-second gap to your guy JC, who I fear could be a bit of a rear gunner, as Tactical Genius has done the same thing again. He's spun at the top of the hill. Those medium tyres probably very much cooked and not at all going to be giving him any grip. But JC now will be the next driver in Fury Strat's crosshairs. But could he be a little bit of a rear gunner here?
Oh, what's happened here? Salmons has gone deep. He's gone wide off circuit. And there you go. Bender takes the position up in a P8 from the Bender. Well, good move from the Bender. Very, very good. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me, Salmons. That is not good, mate. That is not good. And, well, there you go. There you go. He's given the position back to Bender, but I think, well, he'll be seeing the stewards on that one. And, nevertheless, push on. David, there he is there. And just really hanging on to the back of the Batman, isn't he? Look at the cars. You've got Batman, you've got Z, you've got Housey, you've got Bender, you've got Salmons all there in front of him. And, well, this race has come alive. Lap 11 of 28, folks. And we are currently quickly approaching the halfway distance here, Lukey boy. This one's gone past pretty quickly.
Yes, we are. Yeah, that was a bit of a bold, I say bold, a stupid move there from Salmons. He was nowhere near going to be getting near old Footy Bender, and he just thought, I'll just throw my nose up the inside just for the sake of it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that one is referred at a later date. Fair play here from that Hammer, who is keeping up with Mr. Fury Strat. He's on older hard tyres. He's got Verk sniffing all over his rear wing. And yet he is still keeping up within DRS range of Fury Strat. So good, showing some strong pace set from Nat Hammer. Of course, on those older hard tyres, which are now probably better than the leader's tyres, but he is quite a ways back. And Verk now looking for the inside, breaks later, locks the front. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does, unless the counter-attack. No, Nat Hammer has nothing to come back at him for. Verk finally up to P4. He's on the back of Fury Strat, who is starting to close down onto the back of your guy JC. So I think unless your guy JC dives into the pits, which he might very well do, I'd give it a couple of laps, and I think he'll be seeing not only Mr. Fury Strat but Verk as well on his rear wing, and that is probably something you don't really want to see. Although he still has a pit stop to go. Mida Smeller out front by nearly 6 seconds. He can probably start lifting a bit to save tyres. He knows that he will be doing the one stop. The others around him, even if they go to the end, they will be on such inferior tyres that he would have no issue whatsoever catching up and overtaking them. But we are still not quite yet at the halfway stage. Anything can happen, and there is an almighty DRS train sitting behind old Footy Bender.
There certainly is there, Lukey boys. We do welcome the chiropractor senior in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You missed the first half of the race. No! Well, you're here now, mate. And great to see you in the chat, of course. Currently watching the Batman. He's doing his thing, isn't he? He's hanging on to Z. But I tell you what, as you did touch on, Lukey boy, from Bender all the way back down, and Brad Tate is looking to hang on to the back of this one. Have a look at Brad Tate. There he is there. You can see them in front. And I'll tell you what, if he joins on, I'll tell you what, it just adds to the list, doesn't it? Fantastic. As, well, David just dropped out of DRS zone. But nevertheless, Housey and Salmons battle resumed, of course. Z looking for all ways to get past the Housey, but just struggling a little bit, of course. Nowhere to pass in, and the DRS train. And, well, there you go. Any special rules this race? No, mate. No, absolutely not. It is a race to the flag, this one. A normal race. And not an every compound race. Not a sprint race. And definitely not a default setup race. So nevertheless, there you go. Z's got the job done. Moves himself up into P10. And, well, Housey slots in to P11. And, well, Housey on 11-lap old hards. 3-lap older tyres than the guys around him. And, well, that might just be playing into the hands of everybody around him here, Lukey boy. But, yeah, nevertheless, Housey is a wise old head. There is still one more round of pit stops to go, I do believe. And, well, that safety car, the early door safety car threw this one out of kilter. But nevertheless, we are racing. Middies Mellor leading this one. There he is there in the pit lane. Berg and Middies have both boxed at the same time. Have a look at this. And JC in the pit lane, JC as well. Scotty has gone through, and there you go. Who has taken the lead of this one? And it is the Verks, and this certainly is P1, Fury P2, but he does have that 10 seconds next to his name, and there you go. 3 seconds for Verk, 10 seconds for Fury, 6 for M4, 3 for the Bender, 3 for Salmons, and of course, Tack with the 12.
Yeah, Tack went for another spin as well. The yellow flag came out just as Midas dived into the pit lane, but it was just for another spin round here up at, I think, turn 9. Yeah, turn 9, he went for another spin. Verk did get past Fury Strat, and he's now into the lead. Midas has pitted. He's come out not too far. Let's see the gap between Midas and Verk. It is 11.5 seconds between the two of them on lap 13, which means, I mean, that is not the biggest gap in the world, especially with a 9-lap tyre deficit. Verk will now need to hope, probably not yet, but in a few laps' time for a potential safety car or even a virtual to get another pit stop, because as things stand, a 9-lap tyre deficit to Mida Smeller of all people is something that I doubt many drivers could resist as Z gets past Salmons into turn 12, and your guy JC gets past Brad Tay. JC just out on those fresh hard tyres, passing Brad Toe, who's on older mediums, as Verk has a nice healthy gap to Fury Strat. 1.3 seconds, he's broken DRS on those hard tyres. He now really has to keep pushing. On the assumption he has medium tyres to go back onto, he's probably still got to stay out for another 3 or 4 laps if he's going to make that second stop.
Well, gaps have opened up a little bit here, Lukey boy, and we are currently looking at the race schedule as we speak, of course, regarding the pit stop and where everybody's going to feather in. And, well, I dare say, I tell you what, Middies Mellor, does not need to stop again. The only one, him and JC, are the only two out there that do not need to stop again. Excuse me, I stand corrected. Dirty Orange as well. And And, well, there you go. So that's 3 drivers there, Lukey boy. Tactical Genius on the medium. But I'm not too sure if they're going to make it to the end. I'll tell you what, they start to struggle from lap 9 onwards. But a lighter car just might do it for him. Nevertheless, we'll push further up. P3, there is Nat Hammer. I'll tell you what, he's starting to really... Well, he's not letting Fury go, is he? Is he there, Lukey boy? Still within 7/10 of a second is the Nat to Fury. And he does know the Fury has that 10 seconds. I'll tell you what, maybe Nat just senses the podium here. Can he hang on? Can he hang on, of course? We're at the halfway point of this Grand Prix as we'll flick down to Z because he's within 3/10 of the Bender, who's had a phenomenal race so far, currently in P7. And, well, definitely needs to stop again, does the Bender. Can he make that hard compound? Can those guys on 10-lap old hards make them last another 14 laps? I seriously doubt it. Excuse me. But nevertheless, we'll see how this one pans out as Z makes his way around Bender and up into P7. And could start really making endgrounds on this top of the list here, Luke.
DK did Tactical Genius into the pits. Fair play to him. He's keeping going. He's now spun every lap at turn 9 for the last about, I think, 2 or 3 laps. But he's keeping going.
Well,
into the pits. He's going to go a lap down.
we got to give Tack his props, of course. Yes, just come back to racing, and well, he's just doing his thing. He's putting in the hard yards, and of course, when he comes good, he'll come good. We all know Tack. We all love Tack. And yeah, Tack will do his thing. He's, like I said, he's just coming back into his racing. And of course, we're going to go on a journey with him, of course, as these boys went on last season. But nevertheless, if we look forward to him firing back up here, Lukey boy.
Indeed, yeah. Verk pulling away cleanly from Fury Strat. Both of whom will be pitting again, and Nat Hammer still yet to pit. Another yellow flag. Oh, just Tactical Genius keeping out of the way of the leaders. Good for him for keeping going, and good for him for keeping clean out of the way. As Nat Hammer loses the rear end a little bit. Those hard tyres probably not feeling too good, but he'll be able to be clear of them soon. And looking at it, you know, he's only going to fall behind Midas Mella and JC.
Yeah.
Those are the people that have pitted.
That's right.
So I think you're right on the money there with talking about a podium. Fury Strat will have to pit himself, but he's got a massive penalty against his name. And even Verk, who's up the road, might have to pit again. And not only that, he also has a penalty against his name. So Nat Hammer is being incredible up the inside. Whoa! Fury Strat moved a little bit at the last second there, not too aggressive, nothing worthy of the stewards, but Nat Hammer gives a little shove off the track just for good measure for that. Side by side for the two of them. Nat has the wider line, but struggles with the traction. They make wheel banging contact again into turn 16, but Nat Hammer is through. Medium tyres. I think that Mr. Fury Strat should be heeding it as Midas Miller gets past Johnny M4. No surprise there, Midas flying on those fresh hard tyres.
Well, absolutely, Lukey. And I think, sorry mate, sorry to cut you off, but I think Fury is going to benefit here because he should, well, I was going to say, if he boxes down, throws another set of mediums on, he is in prime spot, isn't he? Absolutely prime, but he probably wants to go another lap or 2 extra just to have that good tyre life so he can absolutely send it towards the end of this Grand Prix. And let's just have a look at the gaps to the leaders. So we'll bring these times up just to see where everybody is. And of course, well, let's just have a look at this. So there is Fury. Where is Middies? Behind him. Middies is 5 seconds behind him. Where is Nat Hammer? So Nat Hammer, there he is there. So I'll tell you what, Lukey boy, working on the mathematics here in the background. Oh, Fury's going to come alive towards the end of this Grand Prix. He knows it. He absolutely knows it. But he doesn't want to lose too much time behind on this medium, albeit 12-lap-old mediums. And just in between Nat Hammer and Scotty at the moment. And I'll tell you what, Scotty has come alive as this Grand Prix has gone on, hasn't he? 12-lap-old hards, and Mr. Inconspicuous is the Scotty. He's there to pick up the pieces as well. Let's not count this man out. And, well, Scotty in P4. There is Middies, and you can see those guys ahead of him. And I'll tell you what, this race is as good as his here, Lukey boy. Very, very good. And what happened there ahead of that? Nat Hammer and Fury. Wheel banging, wheel banging, wheel banging. Nat Hammer has missed an end plate. Fury's missing an end plate. And, well, these two not giving an inch. Wheel banging and wheel banging. And I think they've both paid the price here, mate.
Yeah, they have. That is going to really hurt Fury Strat. I mean, he's going to pit anyway, but that is not going to help him at all. And Scotty now is on the back of it, and Midas Mella is not far away from behind these guys at all. And if Fury Strat is running with damage, which he is at the front right end plate gone into the ether, is he going to pit this lap? No, Fury Strat is sticking it out, and that is going to lead Midas Mella onto the back of these guys with absolutely no problem whatsoever. But it's going to be quite difficult for Midas to get his way through 3 cars all within DRS range of each other. We'll wait and see how much of that damage is going to affect Fury Strat. Verk has very much disappeared into the sunset as Tactical Genius picks up another 3-second penalty for track limit excursions. But it is Nat Hammer who still has to pit, albeit onto those medium tyres from the hards he has started this race on, but he has had some fantastic pace. He's keeping it clean so far, and we'll see if he can get past Fury Strat. You'd want to think he'd want to get past the limping Fury ahead of him, just to make sure he gets some clean air and maybe see if he can improve his pace. But I can imagine he'll be into the pits, if not the end of this lap, end of next lap, to change onto the medium tyres that will take him to the end of the race, and they will be some of the freshest tyres on the grid. So Nat Hammer will be flying in these last few laps. As Midas has already got past Scotty. No, he hasn't, because Scotty has kept it to the inside. Oh, Midas is trying to go around the outside. He's going to have the drag. He's going to have a bit of a slipstream from the cars ahead. I think Scotty might have to relinquish this one. He does, yes. Scotty slides back in behind Midas. Not really much of a fight. The tyre offset between the two is huge. So Midas is through as Nat Hammer and Fury Strat are fighting hard. This could be the perfect opportunity for Midas to make some moves. No, he's stuck a little bit behind Nat Hammer.
Oh, you want to be careful. Middies doesn't want damage here, so he wants to be careful. He's in the prime spot here. He just needs to be patient. He can see the guys ahead of him fighting for position, of course, and does not want to get his nose in anywhere where it doesn't belong. You can see him. He's just lifted a little bit because his nose was right in Nat Hammer's crosshairs, of course, and that could have been disastrous. But Fury peels off in the pit lane. Very wise decision. But I dare say Middies is going to get the job done on Nat right about now. They've both got DRS. Well, all three of them do. But Middies on the fresher tyres, and there you go, job done. Well, we have a look at the man go. And, well, he's got Verk to chase. Verk on 14 lap old hards. Let's just see how this one pans out. There is 10 laps remaining here, Lukey boy. A long, long way to go. And here comes Scotty around the outside of Nat. Can he make it stick? He certainly can. What a move! What a move from the Scotty up into P3. Fantastic stuff from the Group 2 Renault driver. Fantastic from him. Making the move on Nat Hammer around the outside of turn 4. Fantastic stuff. And, well, Scotty now in the podium position here, Lukey boy. Looking very, very good. David has come alive as well. Look at David. And there he is there in P9. Where is the housey in P7? And, of course, yes, David might be able to stretch those bad boys to the end here, Lukey boy. What do you think? On 13 lap old hards, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to be a driver in their situation with guys, their compatriots, their competitors breathing down their neck. And, well, they're going to try to nurse these bad boys home, because I tell you what, you leave it any longer here, Lukey boy, it is not going to work. It is not going to help. Of course, you've got to do a pit stop and then try to make up that ground. And, well, the less laps you leave to do that, the harder it becomes.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, we've seen Z's come in, Fury Strats come in, Salmons have come in, so people that pitted up that first lift, but I have pitted again, and Midas, he's got a second guy, about that much, because Burke has penalties to his name. He does have 3 seconds to his name, so he's got to call basically 7 seconds in the next 9 laps, which is not impossible given the pace of Midas Mella and the fact is 9 lap pressure tyres as Nat Hammer finally cruised it a day. Very well done to the Nat for doing 18 laps on those hard tyres and having some incredible pace throughout, so well done to him. He's followed in by Johnny M4. So a few people coming into the pits. I'm sure Nat Hammer will be shocked at how much grip he's going to have. And to be fair, he's not going to fall back down too far. He's going to come out behind the train that is in the bottom end of the top 10, but he should come out well clear of Z. So fantastic job there from Nat Hammer, who has some of the freshest tyres on the grid. I'll be fascinated to see what progress he can make over the next few laps towards the end of this race, and he does not have any penalties to his name, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him fighting with your guy JC4. P4 cars ahead are on a lot older tyres, so Nat Hammer will be absolutely rapid, and I cannot wait to see him go.
Absolutely, and currently watching Salmons and Bender. Bender just starting to stretch his legs a little bit, but Salmons is hanging with him, and well, this will be a battle to the end, of course. Salmons on fresh hards, Bender on fresh mediums. You'd expect Bender just to keep ahead of him, but of course, yes, Salmons being the, well, the Group 2, Bender being a Group 4, and we think Salmons will get that job done, but nevertheless, Bender has come alive of late, and it is fantastic to see. Currently watching David as well. He has progressed a little bit. Nat Hammer coming out of the pit lane in P8 behind David, and well, there you go. Has Johnny M4 4 company ahead of him, David, of course, and the Batman. Yes, and there is Housey in P5. He's on 18 lap old hards here, folks, and there is 9 laps remaining. Let's just see how this one pans out for the Housey. I dare say he's going to have to box again, but he has proven me wrong in the past, as the Housey, and well, we'll just push on. Nat Hammer having a good look at David, and Nat Hammer slots up into P7 on the inside of David. Great move. And well, he can start to pull his way up this field after that pit stop on fresh medium compounds here, Lukey boy.
Yeah, absolutely. As Verk has pitted, he has decided that he did not want, he doesn't want to try to go to the end, and in comes, well, the Batman. People into the pits. Of calling it quits on those tyres, for which they have done a remarkably long stint. But Verk not far behind Scotty. So, it's tactical GTS gets disqualified. Oh dear. That is for more whoopsie. Anyway, Verk on those fresh tyres, he's come out only 4 seconds behind Scotty, and he is flying, so he'll be definitely a shoe in for second place with Scotty. Doing a good job at the moment. I think he might try and go to the end, because your guy JC is a further 7 seconds behind Verk, so he could
I don't think Scotty's making it to the end. No chance in. If he does, that'll be massively surprising. There's 8 laps remaining. You mean to tell me he's going to do 24 laps on a set of hards? I don't think so, and be competitive. Verk will catch him. JC will catch him. He wants to be careful, does the Scotty, of course. Let's just have a look to where the gaps are, of course. He has got 3 seconds to Verk. He's got 7, so that's 10 seconds, 15 to Nat, of course, and you take him all the way back down. If he was to stop now here, Lukey boy, he'd slot in right behind Fury. So, I tell you what, it's going to be touch and go. I think he might be nursing these tyres. Or I could be wrong here, mate, because this is where it all plays out. If he's looked after him at the start, he might go a long way. And tell you what, Scotty does look after his boots very, very well. Johnny M4 and David doing a battle, and Johnny M4 slots up into P7, David P8, very, very good from these two. But let's have a look at the Scotty, and well, there you go, there he is there, starting another lap with Verk behind him. Tactical leaves the session, and we'll see him in a couple of weeks' time, as we have a week off next week due to the Australian Grand Prix coming alive, of course, March 6th, yes, Albert Park, Melbourne. And of course, Lukey boy, it will be there, of course. First one I'm missing for a little while, but nevertheless, Johnny M4 getting the job done past Housey, and well, fantastic move from him. He's come alive of late. Housey on at 20 lap old hards, and well, that's to be expected. He does have David for company, who does have 4 laps in his pocket in the tyre life department. But when you're talking 20 and 16 laps, I mean, how much life is there, Luke?
Yeah, indeed. Verk has got past Scotty, and it was quite funny when you're mentioning how Scotty, might have to look after his tyres. When I raced with him last night, he did get a puncture from pure tyre wear.
There you go.
Maybe Scotty, but he does have 10 seconds to your guy JC. I would be more worried about that hammer really on those medium tyres. But Verk past Scotty, he can try and chase Midas, but it's a 10-second gap in 7 laps, despite the softer compound of tyre and despite the fact he has a much fresher set of tyres. I don't think Scotty's going to have enough in bank to get Midas. Maybe if he didn't have the 3-second penalty, he'd be more of a shoe-in for potential victory, but still a strong race from Verk as David gets past Housey. These guys on ancient tyres.
Yes.
How is he on 20 lap old hards? I mean, how is he still going? How does he still have 4 inflated tyres? Definitely would not be me if I was him. My tyres would have exploded laps ago. So well done to Housey. He's doing a fantastic job keeping those tyres going. But he will have to pit sooner rather than later.
Well, he certainly will, because he's got C all over his gearbox. Have a look at this, Lukey boy. And that's fresh mediums versus very, very ancient tyres, to the quote the great man next to me. But nevertheless, let's just have a look how this one pans out. I expect C to get a good exit out of this last corner and just breeze past Housey, who is battling with David, both with DRS. And there you go. Look at that. As easy as you like. And, well, he can start making his way up this field. David doing a great job. 17 lap old hard compounds, holding his own, and well, there is Fury Strat. Fury Strat has just gotten by Housey as well, right behind Z in P9. He's got a long, long way to go. He's got rid of his time penalty as well there, Lukey boy. So it's a race to the flag from the Fury, and well, he's got to put that racing helmet on and start making end grounds. Let's have a look at the well, to the time to the leader. And, well, there it is there. And, well, currently Fury 29 seconds off the lead. But I tell you what, he's not far off a podium, is he, Lukey boy? Of course, Scotty just a few seconds up the road. And nevertheless, this one will come alive. We've got some moves on track. It is Z and David. David and Z getting that job done. Fury following him through. And there you go, 7th and 8th, respectively. And David slots into P9.
Very nice job there from David, but he... He's not going to be fighting many more people because the cars ahead are all on a lot fresher tyres than he is. Look, I mean, I said to Verk, he's not going to be. He's got a big gap to overfill. He's less than 5 seconds. He's gained a lot of time on Midas Mella. So once again, eating my own words, 34.8. Wow, that is a quick lap there from the Verk, and so he's flying as Sammons gets past Batman. These guys both on fresh tyres, so that could be a battle to watch for. But Verk is absolutely flying out there. catching up to the Mella. But again, that 3-second penalty, I think, could be condemning him. I think Midas can probably relax a bit. He knows that, okay, even if Verk gets up onto the back of him, he needs to overtake him and pull 3 seconds. With the time remaining in this race, I don't think it could be done. So
well, we're talking 5 laps, Licky boy. 5.5 laps there, mate, and 4.5 second deficit. And well, there you go. With the 3 seconds makes it 7, and it's almost impossible. But nevertheless, Verky will he'll keep him honest. He'll absolutely keep him honest, will the Verks, and will want to just consolidate, and have that P2, of course, because that is his position to lose, of course. Scotty doing a fantastic job, must be said. 19 lap old hard compounds. How far can he stretch him? How's he on 22? And I don't know if they can make it. They're going to make me chew my words, these boys. But nevertheless, fantastic stuff. He's got a bit of a gap to JC, as you did touch on, and JC is starting to put the hammer down. Have a look at this from the JC. So, what is that? 6 seconds there, Lukey boy. 6 seconds in 5 laps. That can be achievable, of course, but it's 9 lap tyre difference. Maybe if it was fresh, it might have been a bit of a different story. But nevertheless, Fury all over Z for 7th and 8th, and maybe, just maybe, can he claw his way back up a few more positions? But I think Fury's running out of time here, Lukey boy.
He is indeed. He'll get past Parsifal, I think, fairly soon, and if he can find a second and a bit, he'll be he'll be within Johnny's penalties. So it's not impossible for the Fury to gain a couple of positions. I don't think, really. I mean, is this the race he would have wanted? Probably not. Where are the? Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's down 3 positions. It's not exactly where he would have wanted to be, but he's clawing his way back through, and that could yet be a good recovery from him. Verk is still flying. He's pulled another second on Midas Mela in the last lap alone. It isn't enough, but I mean, God, what a fight. If he didn't know that 3-second penalty, what a fight this would have been. What an end to this race that would have been. Verk hunting down Midas Mela on fresher tyres. You can see the big god up ahead, the big god who has been just a little bit out of touch this season so far. Verk very much reminding us all that he is human. Scotty doing a fantastic job on those tyres. How's he? I genuinely don't know how he's
I don't know how he's doing that.
So Scotty doing well. He's, as things stand, I think he'll have enough pace in hand to hold off your guy JC just under 5 seconds between them, unless Scotty loses a tyre. Just trying to look at his steering wheel. Steering wheel doesn't really give anything away about his tyre wear. So Scotty's still going. They tyres look okay. They don't look, normally you can see when they hit a certain point, front right looks a bit rough, but normally you can see that the visual deterioration, but they look good. We'll see if they can make it to the end. Obviously hoping the best for Scotty. But he's into meters. Gap is going to be just under 3 seconds as we head on to lap 25.
Absolutely, Lukey boy. And I was just having a bit of a look at Scotty's boots as you were talking about that. No, I don't know, mate. I don't know. They're looking a bit ordinary. But nevertheless, we'll have a look at Housies and have a look at it. Yeah, he's just graining up as well. Have a look at the rears on the state. Look at the state of the rears on that. And I tell you what, they are absolutely nursing these cars home. And lap 25 of 28. Salmons might have just consolidated there and just might be happy with 14th. He does have a time penalty to his name, and he's got the Batman, his good mate Batman ahead of him, of course, in 13th. But nevertheless, this time is coming down. Have a look at it, Lukey boy. 2.6 seconds now. The gaps have all stabilised. Excuse me. The one to watch is that gap between first and second, albeit Verk with a 3-second time penalty. If I know Verk, the grit's between the teeth, he'd want to do it on track. He'd absolutely want to do it on track, and he is sending it. He's going to give us a photo finish regardless here, Lukey boy, and you got to love him for that.
100%. This is what we love to see, despite the cards stacked against him. He is going to give it all to the end of this race, and fair play to him for it. It's going to be, I'm sure he will be pushing onwards and upwards to the best of his ability. He's going to get as close as possible to the Greek god, and again remind us all that he is not one to be overlooked, is Verk. But yeah, 2.5 seconds. It's a shame he's got that penalty hanging over his head. He can see Reedus down the road. I am starting to cast a bit of doubt on this Scotty podium hopes at the moment. Your guy JC is starting to catch. I think really 4.7 seconds a lap ago. It's down to 3.3. At that rate, it will be a last lap overtake for your guy JC. But you've got to imagine when he gets onto the back of Scotty, it should be a fairly easy overtake.
Well, look at him go, mate. That's just 1 second in a matter of corners. I think he's going to get it done well and truly before then. Can JC get a podium? He is pushing. Look at the resident Canadian come alive. 2.4 seconds, 2.3 seconds. Look at him go. And I'll tell you what, Scotty will be sweating. I reckon, well, Scotty, can he get his podium? Can he get his podium? But I think if JC has anything to say about it, lap 26-28, he's got 1 3/4 laps to get this job done. And look through the S's. Look at the time come down. And there you go, JC 2.1, 2.0, 1.9. Fantastic stuff from the JC. Oh, look at it go. And he has got the grip between the teeth. Scotty will be sweating bullets. We have on the, well, lap 16 of 28, as I did touch on. This is the battle. This is where it's at, of course. And while we're seeing battles further down, Brad Tay, Salmons, Brad Tay, and looks like Salmons getting that job done. But this is interesting. 1.7 now, Lukey boy. 1.6 now, Lukey boy. He's coming, and he's coming quick.
He is indeed. I wish this race was going on a little bit longer because Nat Hammer is not far back of these two either. They're 2.2 off the back of your guy. I feel like everything is congregating now. All the different tyre chassis are coming together. Batman picks up 3 seconds for track limit excursions. That's going to drop him behind Orange as things stand. But yeah, Scotty's tyres, they are looking worse and worse every lap, which is to be expected. Really, that is how tyre wear functions. But they are looking really, really bad.
Yeah.
Here for Scotty, but he's just got to keep your guy out of his DRS range. But he's so cautious, so ginger through all the high-speed corners. He has no faith in this car, no faith in these tyres. He's being careful with your guy, JC. It's going to be this lap he'll be having DRS.
Wow, look at the state of him. Look at the state of him, Lukey boy. Lap 27, we're on the penultimate lap here, mate. And JC has just cut the lead down to 1.2 seconds from Scotty, of course, and albeit for the final podium position. Verk still within that 2 seconds, and Verk doing a stunning job. As you did touch on, Luke, it would have been fantastic to see how this one would have played out without Verk having that time penalty. But nevertheless, what a race, what a race. But we'll push further down, because we are having a look at Salmons and Batman, of course, albeit with time penalties. These 3. I do believe Bender only has 3. He certainly does. Salmons with 3, and of course, Batman with 3. So they will all cancel each other out. As JC's now within DRS zone here, Lukey boy. He is now within DRS zone. He's our resident Canadian. Oh, I tell you what here, Lukey boy. The back straight to go. Can he get it done before the last lap? But I tell you what, JC, what a Grand Prix from him.
Yeah, but from JC, I think he's going to be a bit too far back. Scotty is flashing already, so he's trying to save as much battery as humanly possible for the last lap confrontation. Look at that. Oh, no, he's lagged out.
Oh, JC's lagged out.
He's lagged out. Oh, that is absolutely
heartbreaking. No way. I'm going to get him in.
That is going to solidify Scotty's podium, because even by the time JC gets back in, his AI would have lost too much time. That is heartbreak.
Oh,
it's raining. It's raining. It's raining!
It's raining on the last lap there, Lukey boy. We're going to stay with our race leader. And, what has happened? What has happened? That is so unfortunate. Oh, I tell you what, Scotty's been kissed by the proverbial. And, well, there you go. Minnie's Bella leading this one. 1.8 seconds as the rain starts to fall. JC has just joined. He's going to get overtaken by Nat. He's going to get overtaken by Nat. No. Has he joined his car? He certainly has. He's just gotten in it. And, well, there you go. JC just got in his car, and he can hold on to that 4th position. What a shame for the man. He was looking at a podium. Oh, dearie me. But nevertheless, we're with the Greek God. Lap 28, the last lap on the back straight. The class of the field. But let's not forget Verk, of course. Verk done a stunning job this Grand Prix. And I tell you what a shame with that time penalty, because it could have been anybody's game. There is JC, unfortunately dropped down to 5th. And, well, Johnny M4 all over him as well. JC's got to get back in his car. Is he in the car? He certainly is. And, well, there you go. He's just got to stay ahead of Johnny M4 because he was looking at a podium. And I'll tell you what, if that's not the towel on the brow of Mr. Scotty that he was looking for, I don't know what is there, Lukey boy. But nevertheless, the Greek God going through 18, turn 19 now here, boys. And of course, yes, our championship leader about to take the turn 20, the final corner on lap 28. Middies Bella, the Greek God, takes the win Fantastic drive from Middies. Vert P2. Awesome drive. And I'm going to tell you what, Scotty is going to hold it. He's going to hold that P3. He certainly is here, Lukey boy. Albeit 24 seconds off it. But he's going to hang on. I'll tell you what, JC's come alive as well. JC's having another crack at that hammer. But nevertheless, we're going to bring Scotty across the line. A great podium. Well-deserved, Scotty. Awesome, awesome drive from you, mate. P3, of course, there is Nat Hammer in P4. And tell you what, he'd be thanking his lucky stars. JC P5, Johnny M4 P6. Of course, yes, there is Z in P7. Jumps Johnny. Of course, yes, Johnny with some time penalty. So does Fury. And, well, Fury in P7. Johnny in the end will be P8. David in the end will be P9. And, of course, the Bender. Well, there you go. The Bender. Well, great race from the Bender. P10 from him. As, well, not let's not worry about that DNF, as JC has left the session. I can't believe the game does that. But nevertheless, that is it. That is the race won and done by Middies, as we wait for these boys to cross the line. And Housey, the only one out there on the inters, did box in the end. And, well, Housey get a punch? I'm not too sure. He would have been very close. I'm pretty sure we were watching a great battle up the front there, Wabby. And, yeah, unfortunate, mate, from the Housey. But he did need to stop. He was on very, very old tyres, was the lad. And I'm surprised he made it that far. Nevertheless, did the tyre whisperer. But nevertheless, there you go. Middies taking the chocolates. And we'll get rid of that. And there you go. The fastest lap of the Grand Prix goes to Verk with a 1 minute 34.843. As we'll flick all the way down to the bottom for the stewards. Of course, JC did finish the race. Just, yeah, the timing screens. So we'll get that all officially sorted out in the server. We'll flick back up to the top. We're going to go on a brief pause, folks. We'll get these drivers in for an interview and our driver of the day as well. Stay with us.
Yes, it's pole position.
Welcome back to Southern Cross Racing. Yes, well, thank you very much, Seb, for that pole position at the end of the race. But nevertheless, that was my bad. We've got our drivers in for an interview, folks, and we might as well start with our third place man. Oh, Scotty. I tell you what, at the end, what a great race. What a great drive by your good self there, mate. Picking up that final podium position. But nevertheless, mate, the pressure was on. JC was turning up the wick, and that disconnect at the end just gave you that breathing space that you absolutely needed. So congratulations on that third place, mate. Congratulations on the podium.
Yeah, I reckon I'm still catching my breath after that one. But yeah, interesting race. I sort of went a little bit different because I went sort of a bit of an intermediate setup because in qualifying it looked like we were going to get weather, but I was hoping for a little bit more. And then when they gave us sort of the last panel when we loaded into the race, I thought, oh shit, yeah, here we go. I've gone the wrong way. I'll be a little bit of a boat down the straights, but yeah, it was figured. Here we go. Lap 3 safety car. I thought, all right, what the hell? Put on a set of hards, see if we can go to the rain. If another one came out, obviously I had the second set of hards, so sort of kept going, making my way through the pack. I was sort of following Verk a little bit, just managing the tyres, just hoping, and then yeah, sort of sort of in that fight, watching Nat and Fury fight really hard. 99% of it clean. I think there was a little bit of lag that I think gave Fury damage, so obviously he was also hurt with the 10-second pen, but yeah, just those final stages, just holding on. I think the gap was about 11 seconds to JC and 14 to Nat, and I knew that was coming down. So, yeah, gap was all right. It was coming down slowly, but then, yeah, those last sort of 4 or 5 laps, just, that front lefts just started to go on me and just did not get the traction out of the corners. And, yeah,
what were they on in the end? What were they on in the end?
72 front left, so I had about 8% to spare before punches could have happened.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Housey was maybe 2 laps longer than you, and he ended up getting a puncher, so it was very close.
A shout out to JC. Obviously, that would have more than likely been his podium.
Yeah.
If not for the incident. So really unlucky for him, but good to see him driving very nicely. Obviously, former Wonka teammate as well. So obviously, always glad to see those guys doing well. So yeah, hard luck for him, but looking pacey as always. And obviously, shout out to the top 2. They were miles clear. I mean, Dirk was able to take a free pit stop to sort of take seconds. So yeah, good race. First podium of the season. Took me a little bit, 5 rounds, but
it did. You got there in the end, though, Scotty. You got there, mate.
Very happy. Strat was on, consistent as always for myself. So yeah, very happy. Some good points. Johnny had a really good result as well. Shout out to him. I think P7 or something like that. So great result from him. Brad Tay scoring points. Sad for Jerabot as well. Would have been his first race, but pedal issues keep him out.
Yeah, certainly did. Yeah, he let me know before the race.
Hopefully we can see him next round.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah. Good race for myself, so yeah, happy with the first podium.
Well, great job again, Scotty, and well, go get some needed refreshments, mate, and maybe a shower after that one. Congratulations on your P3, mate. Awesome drive. Well done.
Cheers, boys.
No problem at all. I tell you what, we'll go to our second place man because, well, Minnie's hasn't graced us with his presence just yet. Maybe another time, but I'll tell you what, Verk, as we did touch on during Scotty's interview, what a drive from this man. Never say die attitude is our current champ. Of course, yes, the Season 3 champ. Never say die, and tell you what, he was coming big time at middies. Just unfortunate with that time penalty. It would have been interesting to see how it panned out. But congratulations, Mr. Verk. P2 in the end. Great race, great drive. Awesome stuff. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I don't know, a bit of a negative Nancy today. It's just one of those races where, you know, I think I could have done a lot better, but nothing was sort of going my way. And you know, I'm not a huge fan of this track, so it was just survive, really. But yeah, it's just a little bit of an angry race on my behalf. So I'm just going to be a little bit negative, unfortunately.
No, fair enough.
But no, I'm happy for the P2, I guess. Yeah, penalty wasn't great. I got a few of those bull crap track limits, which half my car was definitely still on the track. So unfortunately, that's just the way the game is, and that's just how it is, I guess.
Yeah, it is, mate. And I suppose the only saving grace from that is it's the same for everybody. But nevertheless, mate, it was a great drive by you. Whether you feel that you could have done better or not, P2 is nothing to sneeze at. And, well, let's not forget, though, Verky boy, your team and the 3 other teams still have their wild card to play. So there's a lot of swings and roundabouts to go through this season, albeit on round 5 has just been completed. on an 18-round season. And, of course, next week we have a week off, of course, for the real-life stuff starting in Melbourne, Australia. Yes, Formula One. But nevertheless, we speak of Verk, and, well, that was quality regardless of whichever way you say it. And I know that you would have liked to have done better, and I know you're disappointed on the track limit penalty, but nevertheless, mate, P2 is good. And, well, you get a bit of a week off, bit of a time to everyone cool their jets, a deep breath, and we fire up for the last 3 quarters of the season there, Verk, and we kick off after our break at Australia. So I know you like that circuit, and onwards and upwards, my friend.
Yes, that's all we can do, and yeah, the team have done pretty well this style. Not pretty well, but very great these last few rounds.
Yeah,
we've had a few hiccups, but you know, we're still up in the fight. So hats off to all the lads in the team, and
you just got to keep on keeping on and doing your thing, and that's exactly what you boys are doing. So hats off to all of yous. And, well, another podium under your belt there, Verky boy. Keep clocking them up, mate. Congratulations on your P2. That's Verks, everybody, our current champ.
Thank you.
No problem at all. And, well, Middies hasn't joined, but we're going to get to our driver of the day. And as Scotty did touch on, I mean, me and Licky Boy were talking about it after the race, and I said, it's got to go to JC. It has to. It has to. He put on a clinic, and unfortunate with that disconnect. Right towards the end, I tell you what, the luck of the Irish for our resident Canadian, if that even makes sense. But nevertheless, I speak of none other than JC taking our driver of the day. Congratulations, mate. Well done, well driven, and bad luck with that disconnect at the end.
Yeah, thank you. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in that race. You know, I was before this season, I was just like, I don't really think I'll have the pace because I can't practice at all. I only really log on to race, or maybe an hour before, to get some laps in. But I surprised myself, and when I disconnected, I thought to myself, oh man, Scotty must have some really good aim to hit my NBN with his words. Wow, racing, that was incredible. And I got to say, thank you for getting the invite back. Quickly.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
That was very kind of you, so thank you. But yeah, hats off to Scotty. Nat as well behind. He was really pushing the whole way. And there were no, any one of us that would have gotten to the podium at the end, we would have deserved it. And so hats off to all of them. Yeah, it was a great race, and I'm a little, I lost the word. I can't remember. I had a good time.
That says, as long as you had a good time, JC, and I can tell you what, the podium, you could sniff it. Oh, we were all pumped up for you. You were coming, and you were coming hard. That disconnect, and we kind of had it in the background, in the back of my mind. I had a little bit of a chuckle about the disconnect right at that bloody time, but nevertheless, you pushed through. We got you back in, and I think in the end you finished, what was it there, JC? P6, P5, P6. And fantastic from you, but unfortunate. But a well-deserved driver of the day, nevertheless. And I believe that might be your second driver of the day here, mate. So from a guy that was a bit hesitant at the start of the season, it's great to see you hit your straps, albeit for a man who barely can practice and is just dedicated to the cause. So we love you, JC. Great drive, awesome effort, and unlucky, mate. That could have been a podium. Well done.
What can you do? I mean, it's all good and fun, right?
That's exactly right.
Thanks for putting on a good show. I'll look forward to watching it back.
No problem, mate. No problem at all. And, well, another great drive from our resident Canadian, Mr. JC. But we'll push on, and we'll push on to the last interview. And, of course, has just come up on screen for everybody at home to see. I'm going to give a big congratulations to Mr. Fury Strat, albeit probably the result that he did not want. We're not going to talk too much about the race. But we're going to talk about his 100 races in this format. Fantastic from the Fury. He's just been there, and he's always been there, and he's doing his thing in the background as he always does. So from us here at Southern Cross Racing, a very big congratulations to Mr. Fury Strat on his 100th Grand Prix with us, albeit going back from all the way to Formula 4 and Southern Cross Racing. And, well, that's this format, and it even goes back even further. That's not even on the totals, of course. I speak of none other than PBE. But Fury, mate, unfortunate with that race. We're not going to harp on that too much, but let's just go through some of your stats. 100 races, 12 wins, 41 podiums, 1 sprint win, one group championship, 6 fastest laps, 1,597 points. And the thing that I think you can hang your hat on is the 5 constructors titles. Congratulations, mate. I mean, may longer continue, and awesome effort.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it'd be nice to be adding to those stats, but I'm really not at the moment. I'm just accumulating some points. I'm glad we won't talk about the race too much because I really don't want to. It's anything that could go wrong did go wrong tonight. Is the easiest way I'll put it. So it's been a hell of a ride. Cool to be the first one to hit 100 races. But I mean, the consistency just shows everything. Like I was in Group 3, I think the first ever season in this format, which is when I won my first and only group championship. But kind of when I moved up and realized that didn't have the outright pace of those guys that I'd be competing against. It's always been trying to focus on just accumulating points and doing the best I can for the team to try and secure some teams championships, and can say I've been successful enough to do that on 5 occasions. Unfortunately, we fell up a bit short last season, which definitely was definitely hurt a little bit. It was only a couple of points in the end, which it's probably one of the closest constructors finishes in a long time.
In a long time, yeah.
So it's been a hell of a ride. But like to start adding some stats to that, and we'll see what we can do in later races. Hopefully something can happen and I can be a bit more competitive, because at the moment it's nowhere near it. But been a hell of a journey, and a bit of a shout out to all my teammates, all the Jaguar boys this season. We're still finding our feet a little bit. There's definitely some issues on track that we need to sort out, but I'm sure we'll get on top of it before the end of the season. Shout out to JC. I've been teammates with him a couple of times. He's an incredible driver and just gets the job done and brings the car home just about every week, and he's always there or thereabouts with points. So really sucked to see him disconnect and lose out on a podium. Scotty, my JDR teammate last season, he's incredible. We worked really hard last season together, so good to see him getting some results. And Verky, I did have the pleasure of being in his team for a little bit. Unfortunately, some life stuff for me got in the way before I had to leave the team. But really cool to see him and where he's kind of gotten to since he first started. I remember there was days where he was towards the back end of the grid, struggling to keep up with their run, and now he's pretty much at the front every week, and everyone's trying to catch up to him. So it's really cool to see.
Absolutely, Fury, absolutely, and may longer continue. And hats off to you. And that just wraps up the man. Of course, never big on individual accolades, always big on the team. Does appreciate who he races with and against. And that's him to a T. He's all about the team and all about the league and all about doing all good things. And we cannot thank you enough for it, mate. What you've done in the background has been phenomenal over the journey, and we have tended to have bounced off each other, even if it has been in the commentary box or a DM or a reach out, whatever it might be, mate. But we've always been
just about everything, I think.
we've always
just about every box.
That's exactly right. So, from me to you and from us here at Southern Cross Racing, a big congratulations. We thank you and appreciate your loyalty, and may longer continue, mate. I'm sure you will add to those stats. Great drive, nevertheless, on this Grand Prix. Not the result you would have wanted, but nevertheless, 100 Grand Prix starts in this format is nothing to sneeze at. The first one to do it, and a huge congratulations. Well done, mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, buddy. And, I'll tell you what, folks, that wraps this one up right about now. I might as well cross to my co-commentator compatriot in the background. It's been awfully quiet. And let's just see if he's got anything further to add there, Lukey boy.
Not much to add. Congratulations to our top 3. Congratulations to JC on his drive of the day. Unlucky to miss out on the podium, and congrats as well to Miss Fisher on 100 races. Here is to the next 100. I know you've mentioned it many times, Kate, but of course, friendly reminder: there's no racing action next Friday. Do not come to the channel at 7:30 because there will be no action. I, for one, will probably be at Albert Park Circuit, so I know what I'm doing next.
We might get Lukey Boy on a live feed. How's that from the track?
Let me know.
Absolutely.
I'll live feed from the track, guys. That can be replacement. Yeah.
We'll see if we can hook something up. But nevertheless, we'll push on. A great place to end that one. Good job, Lukey Boy. Good job, drivers, and everyone in the background. Thank you very much for watching. We've enjoyed bringing that to you. Of course, another reminder, we are not racing next week, a week off. But we do hope you can catch us in a fortnight's time at Australia. Yes, the home Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching. We are Southern Cross Racing. Goodbye.